Hey everyone, it's Teresa and it is Quick Change Challenge. I'm going to tell you more about my host and the playlist in just a minute. Alright, I'm starting off with this toolbox. I made it. It's actually over on Creative Fabrica. I did a lengthy tutorial class on it over there. I'll have it linked for you below just in case you want to check it out. But I am going to take this IOD transfer and we're going to put it on one side. I'll show you which one here in a minute. Here we go. The birds one is perfect for spring, but give it a second. We're going to just flop that baby on there. I just cut it out and we are just going to go ahead and transfer that image right onto that. If you've watched me for a little while, you know I have had some troubles with these in the past. This time around with the wood, I made sure that I sprayed this down. I sprayed it with just a matte spray paint, a matte clear spray paint, to make sure that it had a sealer on it so it would transfer a little easier. And I am happy to report that it was a much easier process this time. I didn't gouge my wood. I didn't mess up stuff. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. So happy to report that was a success. So we are just going to rub down all of the spots on this transfer, and what it's going to basically do is it's going to move that image from the little carrier sheet onto our little wood toolbox. And I will, if I have any spots that are problems, I will come at it from a different angle, peeling up the little backing sheet, and that seems to help for the most part. Sometimes you'll have little spots that are harder. What I will sometimes do is I will then pull up that carrier paper past the point where it's not, where it's not coming off, you know what I mean? And then I will kind of put it back down and give it another little rub. It just, eventually you kind of work with it and you get the idea of it. And then you take the carrier paper and just rub it all over there, just getting off any little spots, making sure it's nice and stuck on there. And it's super smooth. All right. Now that side's done, I'm going to make some little placards. These are just a little piece of scrap wood that I've cut out on my miter saw. And now I've got these pieces that are gorgeous. They are just printed on tissue paper. I designed them myself, if I do say so. And I will have those listed down below for you. They are actually just on a Google Drive that you can go in and download them directly for yourself, if you are so inclined. And this one is obviously my summer side, and I am clearly, I've been doing it for like the last 2 minutes, decoupaging it to this piece of wood that I have painted white just to make it super simple. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, but now I will do my spring side. If you've never seen my Quick Change Challenge videos, the whole idea of it is to have decor pieces that are multi-seasonal, multifunctional, multi-something or others. Whether there is a certain element that you can switch out or something that's reversible. This particular little toolbox is going to be both. I'll kind of give you an idea of how this is all going to work in just a minute. But like I said, we're just going to get those two sides taken care of. Super pretty, perfect for spring, and then the other side is perfect for summer. I think that the summer side is going to be on the toolbox, and I'm going to store sunblock in it because, hello, I live in Florida. The sun is serious here. I'm just taking a piece of parchment paper and my little heat press. You could use an iron, most definitely, and just getting out any little bit of wrinkles, making sure it's really nice and stuck on there. It's an extra step. You definitely don't have to do it. It's totally up to you. I wanted to try and get some of the wrinkles out though. Some wrinkles do not bother me, but I don't want it to be like crazy full of wrinkles. Once we're done with that, I'm sure you can probably guess what our next step is. That's not really what I meant, but that's okay. After this step, well, you'll probably guess. Anyways, I'm going to sand off all of the excess tissue paper just with my little finger sander going in a downward motion. And once I am done with that, here, any moment now, there we go. There we go. Now the next step that you knew was coming is going to be some antique wax. I'm not going to go crazy with it. I'm just going to do a little bit of a light brushing of it all around the edges. I'm going to come over a little bit further on the sides, the right and left sides, and you'll find out why in a minute. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see it. But then top and bottom as well. And we're going to do that to both sides. And I'll do just a tiny little bit on the inside of it just so it kind of all ties together. And again, on this side, obviously. Here in a second, what you're going to see is I'm going to take that faux leather ribbon. This is from the Dollar Tree last year. If you did not get your hands on any of it, I definitely would suggest checking out maybe Joann's. I haven't seen it yet, but they had some last year as well. So what I'll do is I'm just going to hot glue it on to the sides, both sides, front and back, on the left and right side. And as you can tell, I've got some excess on the top. And we're going to do that on both front and back. You'll see here in a moment. I have been wanting to use this stuff for like the last couple of weeks, and I keep like, I can't think of a project. I can't come up with a project. I'm going to maybe, hopefully, think up some projects that are kind of in like the farmhouse industrial direction. I don't know. I want to kind of work in some of that more masculine. I don't know. Maybe that's not the right word. More masculine DIYs though. They're just kind of fun, a little something different, you know. I like to mix it kind of, you know what I mean? Like a little masculine, a little feminine. It just kind of gives it a nice little balance. All right. So now that I've gotten those leather, we're going to call them leather. They're not really leather straps. What I will do is I'm going to kind of arrange it on my toolbox, and I was like, well, gee, maybe I should probably, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and hot glue those straps together to make it so you can't really see the backside of one, because it's fine. It's, you know, maybe it doesn't bother you, but I was like, you know, let's just do that. So you can't really see it. It stays together. Kind of looks like it's, you know, meant to be together, because it is. It's meant to be. And what I will do next is I am just getting an idea of where I'm going to place them on my toolbox, and we're going to add some magnets. Now we are adding magnets to the both of the like bottom. This is going to be the bottom part. It looks like the top right now, but it's going to be the bottom. There's my technical method of getting things to be in the same position. Yes, I know. Just that expertise just never ends, does it? I am going to use my magnet on the other side as well. Make sure you have the positive and the negative sides matched up the way they're supposed to. Otherwise, it's not going to work for you. And this way I can switch my signs around as well. Now, I know this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Don't worry, it will. All right, now I'm going to prop it up. I'm going to try to prop it up so in a manner that you can kind of see what's going on. And I'm sorry if it's not super easy to see. But I put my sign over it so it's fairly consistently positioned with where I want it. And I will take, out of frame apparently, the magnet on one side, and I hot glue it to the base. See how I'm doing that? Hopefully that makes some sense. I add magnet onto the one that's on the strap, and then I glue it down to the magnet that is, or I glue it down to the toolbox. And here it is. I'm going to show you a little video so you can get kind of an idea of what I'm talking about. They flop around super easily, and it's super simple to switch them for the season that you're doing. And you can make tons of them, however many your heart's desire. So as I mentioned, today is Quick Change Challenge. It is one of my favorite challenges that I have hosted, and it's all about reversible or stuff that switches out for different seasons and things like that. And my co-host today is Sarah from Sunflowers and DIYing. She's relatively new on the YouTube world, but definitely go check her out because she is the sweetest and you will just love her projects, especially if you are a farmhouse person. And you notice I had a sunflower project on mine. I had to, right? How do you not? And definitely go check out the playlist. I'll have it listed below. There's going to be tons of inspiration with all of these quick change projects, and you're going to love them. Okay, on to the next one. It's actually also the last one. It was only a two for today, guys. I have this greenery that I got from Hobby Lobby and a large Dollar Tree wreath form. Now, as I am making this wreath, please know that I am not a wreath maker. It is not exactly my area of expertise. I'm not really sure if I have one of those at all, but it is not it. And my best advice through this process would be to buy one. I thought I could make it cheaper and easier than just buying one, but as I was trying to put this together, it looks okay. It was a bit of a struggle. I'm not going to show you the whole struggle. My best advice would be to buy one when they're on sale at Hobby Lobby or somewhere. Whatever place you prefer to buy your crafting supplies, they may in fact sell the already made wreaths. That's what I would have done had I known the struggle I was going to go through. Now I'm going to take one of these little rectangular shapes. It is from Chalk Couture. It is already cut and watered, like not really stained. It is whitewashed. And they always have these four different designs in one of the transfer sets. And I am going to mix that with a couple of other things. We're going to check it out though. It's going to be a lot of fun. The reason why I wanted to show you the wood piece, it's not my favorite. I will be really honest. They are not my favorite things. The ones that are like called reclaimed woods, or they're not really reclaimed. They're just a piece of wood. Because I like to sand it and then I still have to add wax to it. I kind of feel like it should be like ready to go. But I wanted to show you it as an option in case you do not have a saw to cut your own stuff. You can buy it ready-made, well, not ready to go. You have to do a little something to it. And in my opinion, you shouldn't have to. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to keep making some Chalk Couture magic, though. I'm adding this little horse, a transfer, with some of the eucalyptus chalk paste. And I'm just going to squeegee it on there, get off all of your excess, pull it back, and bam, it is there. I'm going to repeat that process with all of the little animals, and I felt like I needed to water down that paste just a little bit. That'll happen over time. As you can see, I've had this one probably since I started, and I still have quite a bit of it, but you do have to add a little bit of water here and there. If it starts to feel like it is getting on the dry side, it should be kind of like a yogurt consistency. And then I'm going to use the backer for one of my little animals, and I'm going to basically protect the chalk paste of the other animal while that sticky side is going to go down. I don't want it to touch it because it could pull it up. There's a good probability of that. But I'm going to do the same process that I just did, and then peel it back, and here's the little pig. Next, we're going to do yet another animal. If you hadn't figured it out, I'm doing 3 animals. What I didn't mention, because these are brand new, have never used them before, although I've had them for a while, I do take it onto my fuzzing cloth, and what that is going to do, it's going to take off a little bit of the stickiness so you can actually get that stencil to come off of the surface. If you do not fuzz it, you run the risk of not getting that baby to come off. Ask me if I've done it before. And same situation, I'm just going to use my paste, put it down all over my open area. Any of that little white space that you're seeing right now is actually a screen. So when you're doing this with the paste, you're pushing it through the screen. Then I will go and clean up my stuff, and I am coming back and I'm taking a little bit of the surface wax and I am going to place this all over the areas that I just did the paste on. There are 2 reasons for this. One is that it protects the paste from 2 things. The transfer itself, because I'm about to put on another transfer on top of that, and it is going to protect it from the water that is in the paste. There is obviously, it's a water-based paste, so there's water in it that would have potentially re-wet it, and then you would have had to worry about it smearing and smudging all over the place. It would not have been cute. Now, what I will do though is I'm going to take out yet another different color, which I'm getting off in the distance in a moment. You'll see. I'm going to take the color, the Black Velvet. There we go. That's the color name, Black Velvet. And I'm mixing in a little bit of water, and I'll be real honest, I put too much water in it. It's okay though. It looks fine. It ends up looking just fine. I haven't cleaned it up yet. I thought about it. I haven't done it yet though. But anyways, I'll take a little bit of that black paste, and I'm telling you what, you try to save up as much as you can of it. And same way that I did the animals, I'm just going to smudge it all over the open area. Take off your excess, put it back in the jar because nobody wants to waste this stuff. Really, truly, goes a really long way, and then you'll peel it back and it is done. That side is done. Now I am going to take this gorgeous tile print. It is called the Farmhouse Tile, if I remember right. I think that's what it's called. And I'm going to put this on, but as a background. This is actually 2 colors mixed. It is the Storm and the White. I don't think I'm a liar. I'm pretty sure that's right. It's barely any of the Storm. It's like just enough just to give it a little bit of color, because I am wanting this to be a very discreet background, maybe? Maybe that's the right word. Anyways, I'm just going to pull that all the way through the transfer just like before. I've used this one a couple of times, so I know that it's going to get to the point eventually where there's not a lot of stick. If you get to that point, you can use a spray That'll actually give it a little more stick to the actual surface. And now you'll see I did make sure, I actually did this on purpose, where I didn't completely cover the outside area of it, just because I wanted to give it a little different look, like a little bit distressed without distressing it. I don't know. Does that make sense? I hope that makes some sense. Now I'm going to take that same gray color. There's no wasting things in my house if I can avoid it. And I'm going to add a little bit of this gorgeous blue called Cadet. And it's going to give this a super, super bright color. In this one, again, I added a little too much water. It's okay though. We're going to make it work. I've had the Cadet for a while too. So we're using this one that says Life is Beautiful. It's from the same 4-pack that I showed in the beginning. And I'll do the same thing where I'm just going to pull all of that paste through our screen. And on this one, I'm actually not even using one of the mini squeegees. I'm using like a half. I cut it in half. That is a little tip for you. If you don't want to buy, there's a specific tool that's about that same size. If you don't want to buy it, cut your mini squeegee in half and no one will be the wiser. And now you will see it is all assembled in my wreath that, again, I'd suggest just buy it yourself instead of making it. But you see it's got the 2 different sides and you can swap that out just about any time of year you want. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's quick change challenge. Do not forget to go check out our co-host, no, not our co-host, my co-host, the co-host, however you want to say it, Sarah. She is just absolutely delightful. And don't forget to check the playlist because there's going to be all kinds of inspiration for you to check out and hopefully recreate for yourself. And I will see you next time.